All right, guys. Welcome to the show. We're going to start off by tearing apart this damn Black Lives Matter movement. This has to be known. We need to start coming out. More of us need to start speaking out. Black, white, yellow, brown, whatever the hell your color is, it's time to start speaking out. This first story is it's actually a later video yesterday that Martha McCallum of Fox News did an interview with Black Lives Matter Greater New York chair on movement's goals. This is Hawk Newsom. And this is mainly for all you people out there who keep trying to back this movement and the other people who call others racist for not backing the movement. This is why we don't back the movement. Listen to his words.
Head of Black Lives Matter for Greater New York. Good to have you with us tonight, sir. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So, obviously, people watch what you say in that video that you want to now shove legislation down people's throats now that you have everyone's attention. And you also have said that violence is some.
First off, let's get into the hat. I don't like picking on people's looks. I don't like picking on what you wear, but certain things about what you wear can give off the impression, of the person you are. So, sold not for sale, first off. If a lot of the evidence is true, it's pointing to money being funneled from or through Black Lives Matter into the Democratic Party. Well, I mean, you're at least partially for sale. Your soul is at least already sold, at least partially. You may believe that the movement that you're behind is great or the person that you are is amazing. You have, You're just part of the gospel. You are just an amazing person. The movement is amazing. But is that completely true if you're funneling money? If you're just doing it, if you're only doing it because of money or whatever the cause behind the perceived cause, I'm sorry, but that hat is bullshit. Let's keep going.
Sometimes necessary in these situations. What exactly is it that you hope to achieve through violence?
Wow. It's interesting that you would pose that question like that because this country is built upon violence. What was the...
And here he goes. Here he goes into the typical, this country is built upon violence. I mean, most countries are built upon violence. It's not really... it's not incorrect to say, but it's moreover why and how far they're willing to go with that violence. You can look this up, but the majority of the revolution against the British, we didn't have anything in the colonies. We didn't have, the whole reason why the Bill of Rights and the Constitution named things so specifically was because those things we did not have. And the reasoning why this country is so great was because we try to reason things first. We try to go the democratic way, and I know a lot of these people are going to try and say, well, yeah, we tried so hard. Yeah, but you're fighting for shit that's not really a big, there's no real push for it because it's all built on lies. You have to use propaganda and, movements with the name Black Lives Matter right away already makes it sound like it's only about black lives. And I know I've heard the argument. I know all you have heard the argument. Well, it's not just black lives. And I understand that, but just having that name, like I've gotten fired just because I'm now considered racist because I don't back Black Lives Matter. Why don't I back Black Lives Matter? Well, this guy here is going to tell you exactly why I don't back Black Lives Matter. It's not about black lives, first off. If it were, the black on black crime would be an issue. You'd have Black Lives Matter in Chicago every day. This is all bullshit propaganda for the 9 unarmed black men killed last year. that tells you that tells you all you need to know. There is nothing more to this story of Black Lives Matter other than it's a propaganda piece for votes. That's why there's plenty of charts out there that show you Black Lives Matter comes and goes every election, midterms, everything. It's nobody cares about it any other time until Trump's up for re-election. What are we going to do? Black Lives Matter. And it just so happens that it's mixing in with Antifa. It's mixing in with, anti-colonialism bullshit, anti-capitalism bullshit. And granted, maybe originally Black Lives Matter was, it could have been started as a good cause, but it's not anymore. It hasn't been for years. Ever since 2015, when I heard the words, what do we want? Dead cops. When do we want it? Now? That threw me overboard. You just don't. I'm not going to get behind you, and I really don't. I don't understand why we can't just have an all lives matter. Let's keep listening to this guy.
The American Revolution. What's our diplomacy across the globe? We go in and we blow up countries and we replace their leaders with leaders who we like. So for
So if that's his problem, if which don't get me wrong, to a point I understand what he's trying to say, but Donald Trump is not that kind of president. He's proven. I mean, he had the chance to blow up or to attack Iran over the drone incident, and he didn't. He chose not to because too many innocent civilians would die. So this is what I don't understand. Occasionally they can start making good points, but then it's kind of hypocritical of them. They'll continue the movement against Donald Trump even. And I know I don't know if he necessarily picks out Donald Trump, but you would think they'd at least come out and back Donald Trump because of the lack of, interference with, his overseas issues. Like the lack of interference with other countries. Donald Trump is actually very good. He's more of a conservative when it comes to that type of stuff. A true conservative, not these war hawk conservatives, quote unquote conservatives in the government now. So that's my thought on that issue.
American to accuse us of being violent, it's extremely hypocritical. Now, when we talk about violence, we talk about using self-defense. Why are you screaming and not allowing me to talk, ma'am? You asked me a question, allow me to answer. I'm in the process of answering, and I won't be that much longer.
I'm listening.
Okay?
When people do that, he's looking for more time to create an answer, basically. That's exactly what he's doing.
You asked what we hope to achieve. We're talking about self-defense. We're talking about 4 or 5 police officers choking someone to death and someone from the community having the training to intervene effectively. We're talking about saving lives. Nobody's talking about ambushing police officers. We're talking about protecting lives. And there's nothing more American than that. And when we talk about uplifting and upholding the Second Amendment, I think that you should be applauding me, seeing as though you guys are huge supporters of the Second Amendment. But it seems to be the hypocrisy of America that when black people start talking about arming themselves and defending themselves, the talk is violence. But when white people grab assault rifles and go to our nation's, their state's capitals,
they're not assault rifles. There's no such thing. It's not an assault rifle. There is a such thing, like in the military, when I was in the military. An assault rifle is a military term for a weapon that is fully automatic and carried by someone in the infantry. That's the technical definition of an assault weapon or assault rifle. But that's military terms. In the civilian world, we do not have assault weapons or rifles. I mean, anything can be called an assault weapon if you use it to assault someone. So it's kind of bullshit. I'm getting sick and tired of hearing the whole assault rifle. Just say a rifle. There's no real difference between rifles anymore. As far as firing, there's the way they react, the way they operate. 99% of them are semi-automatic. There's no difference besides caliber, grain, the specific how far something can shoot. There's no real difference between rifles. So when they say assault rifles or assault weapons, they're talking about all damn weapons, because they may not know that, but that's basically what they're doing.
It's all good.
All right. First of all, I've never talked about my stance on the Second Amendment. That's my. I'm not criticizing you or praising you.
You don't support the Second Amendment? You don't support the Second Amendment?
That's not my role here to talk about my opinion.
I'm asking you a question. Do you support?
See, he doesn't understand. She's not a columnist. She's not, a commentary person. She really just reports the news. In this case, it's an interview. So she is interviewing him. A lot of these people don't seem to understand. It doesn't matter what she supports. She's actually doing the right thing. If he was on, let's say, and maybe Fox News and being on TV, it's a lot easier in writing, because you typically have little tags that tell you, opinion, satire, whatever. And so maybe on TV, the screen, maybe you should start showing interview. I mean, I don't know. Or maybe you just need to be better. You just need to educate yourself better on, what it is you're doing in an interview. He is not there to question her. I mean, she's gonna fight that the whole way. I don't understand why people don't get that. If he was on Sean Hannity, even Tucker Carlson, that would be okay. I mean, a lot of times I know Hannity seems to fight that for some reason too. Tucker doesn't. Tucker, yeah, he'll answer your question after you answer his, because he knows he's more of a commentary. So, I don't know. Let's continue with this ass hat.
Support the Second Amendment.
The Second Amendment is part of our
Constitution. Do you support the Second Amendment, yes or no? A lot of your viewers would like to know if you support the Second Amendment.
Well, that's fine. But that's not why we're here. And the only reason that I posed that first question to you, the way
Let him roll his eyes. Asshole.
That I did was that I watched you, talking on a bunch of different interviews today, and you said, burn it down. You said, burn it down. It's time. So that makes me think.
By the way, we're going to get to that video real quick just to show what she's talking about.
I didn't say
you want to burn it down.
I said if this country doesn't give us what we want, then we will burn down this system. And
pay close. This is probably the biggest part of this interview. Pay very close attention. He's trying to twist her words and twist his own words from past videos. But in the end, you're going to see he's going to agree. So watch.
Replace it. All right. And I could be speaking figuratively.
Okay.
I could be speaking literally. It's a matter of interpretation. Like, let's be very real. And let's observe the history of the 1960s. When black people were rioting, we had the highest growth in wealth, in property ownership. Think about the last few weeks. Since we started protesting, there have been...
Yeah, because people were giving you shit, probably. Not because you earned it.
And 8 cops fired across the country. You remember they were telling us that there was due process. That's why the cop that choked Eric Gardner to death kept his job and received raises for 5 years. Anytime a cop hurt a woman, hurt a child, hurt pregnant people, hurt our elders, there was always a call for due process. You must wait. You must wait. But the moment people start destroying property, now cops can be fired automatically.
Does that make it right, though? Like, think about the Wendy's situation. Rashard Brooks, I believe. That cop should not have been fired, but he was fired out of really just a crappy DA, shitty DA. But in general, a lot of these things happen because people are afraid of you. So this guy seems to think that this is like, would you rather, as a man or as even just a human being, would you rather someone do something for you out of respect, or do you think it's better out of fear? Someone's doing something for you out of fear, and now you're cool with that? Like, that's okay? I don't see how any man, true man, true, even really true women. Things have changed. Women, they like, I mean, there's a lot out there maybe that don't really care about respect and they're just out there to get money or whatever. But real women nowadays, especially patriotic women of the United States of America, the smart ones, the good ones, know respect, first off, is earned, but it's also better to have respect than someone fear you. Yeah, it's okay to have certain people fear you, like, Black Lives Matter. If they feared you, things would go a lot better. They don't fear anything right now. So things are twisted. Things are flipped upside down. You have fear being used, being ignored by like conservatives to, when it comes to fighting Black Lives Matter, fighting all this stuff. They're just like, no, I'm just not going to do it. I'm just going to, turn my head and just show respect to the conservative people that I like. But you need to make Black Lives Matter fear you somehow. These people do not fear us. They just don't. And so they know that it's not really conservatives who are bound. I mean, there might be some of them, but true conservatives are not afraid of Black Lives Matter. It's the liberals, far leftists, maybe even some in the middle who are just like, oh my God, okay, I don't want to get hurt. I don't want to lose my business. Here, just take it. Here, no more statues. Just here, just do it here. I'll bend down and wash your feet. Like, that's bullshit. But let me stop rambling and we can get into this guy. He's about to really tell you who he is.
What is this country rewarding? What behavior is it listening to? Obviously not marching, but when people get aggressive and they escalate their protests, the
you
country
feel like that's
listens.
when you're getting results.
Cops get fired. Now you have
Right, so stop giving them what they want. Stop it. Ignore this shit. Arrest them. Jail them. Just stop. He's telling you what to do.
You have police officers, you have Republican politicians talking about police reform. I don't condone nor do I condemn rioting, but I'm just telling you what I observed.
He doesn't condone it and he doesn't condemn it. So he's kind of like playing both sides here. He doesn't want to come out and say, yeah, go riot and destroy shit. But he also doesn't want to tell people not to because he believes that's why they're getting results.
Saying that that's what appears to be working and getting results right now, and maybe that is something for everybody to think about. I just want to put up this quote from Martin Luther King, and I've heard you talk about Martin Luther King versus Malcolm X, and you said that he was an anomaly, Martin Luther King. He said, "Let us be dissatisfied until that day when nobody will shout white power, when nobody will shout black power, but everybody will talk about God's power and human power."
Basically, all lives matter. That's basically what that's saying. All lives matter. You're not shouting anything about whites or black. I mean, do we need to go back and listen to his speech? I mean, we know what he said. He looks forward to the day when black children, white children, any children can play together. It wasn't about, he didn't say, "Oh, I want my black children to be treated better." No, it wasn't. It was everybody to be treated equal. He didn't pick out a specific, but he didn't pick out a specific color or race. He said all people, all children can play together.
Do you agree with that?
I love the Lord. And my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, is the most famous black radical revolutionary in history. And he was treated just like Dr. King. He was arrested on occasion, and he was also crucified or assassinated. This is what happens to black activists. We are killed by the government. Well, and if you need context, if you read your Bible, it'll say that Jesus had feet like burnt brass and hair like wool. I don't know if you noticed, but our hair seems to be more like wool, and we see.
Well, he was more likely to be, he was Jewish / Middle Eastern Jewish. So, I wouldn't say he'd be black. But he's starting to sound a lot like the, what's the crazy black group? the not BLM, but the Black Israelites. He's getting close to sounding a little bit like them, and that could be even worse because the Black Israelites definitely, they've been going around saying the same type of shit, like Jesus was black, and they kind of almost align really with some of the way they protest and where they show up. Like it's kind of close.
Seem to be likened to that color than anyone else, and it's just the hypocrisy and the white supremacy in America and in the world that would show us portraits of a pasty white Jesus. Jesus was not white. We all know this.
Okay, I think Jesus is Jesus to all Christians, and people interpret him in imagery in different ways. Obviously, he was from the Middle East. We all know that. That's
Thank you.
Obvious. So,
so he wasn't a white man. We all know that, right?
I don't know how. I don't
we all know
see
Jesus
how.
wasn't
He was
white,
Middle
right?
Eastern. Yes, he was Middle East. Yeah. All right, we're gonna go. Thank you very much. I appreciate where you're coming from, and I appreciate you coming on tonight. And I know you're very passionate, and that you want what's best. So everybody has different aims and different ways to get there. But I appreciate you sharing your thoughts with us.
I just want black liberation and black sovereignty.
Thank you very
much.
much.
By any means necessary.
Thank you for being.
Any means necessary. Perfect ending. Any means necessary. So let's go over here real quick. Take a minute or two of this video. This is really going to show you. This is a couple days old. Almost a week old. From Vice News.
We shouldn't have to survive. We need to live. We need to live. My brothers need to live. My sisters need to live. My mother needs to live. I want to breathe. I want to breathe.
We stand at a critical point in history.
Here he is. This is Hawk Newsom.
Give black people their rights, or we will burn this country to ashes.
So, in the previous video, the previous interview, he had said to try to correct that this could be figuratively or literally. So he's not saying that he won't do these things that he's saying here. He's basically leaving it open to interpretation, his own words. So you tell me what we are supposed to believe on the right or even center, or even if you lean to the left and you don't agree with them. What are we supposed to believe when you have a man saying these things that is ahead, not just in the group? Because I know I hear a lot, well, just because one person says it doesn't speak for the rest. Well, the leader is going to speak for the rest, especially when they're all cheering for him. And I mean, you have a lot of white people in there too. So this is not racist to be against this shit. Don't let people tell you that you can't go against BLM, because you absolutely can and you should. All right, I hope you liked the video. I'm going to start doing this daily, hopefully more than one time a day. Head on over to offensively-patriotic.com if you're sick of Facebook censorship. We have Facebook groups, a page, and we're on Twitter at offensively-p. So I am trying to get away from Facebook and Twitter, but if you feel as though you need to be on Facebook and Twitter still, be my guest. You can even create an account by connecting your current social media accounts at the website. So please check it out. We're trying to build a new social media platform for you. This is not about me. This is not about money. Like I said in the video earlier, I've been fired because of my speech being taken out of context, because I'm racist, because I don't like Black Lives Matter. And yeah, catch you next time.